My family had spent years idolizing my sister until Thanksgiving, when she found out I'm worth $12 million. You know, I once believed that family favoritism was just some internet exaggeration, a dramatic trope for online forums. But then I realized I'd been living it my entire life, quietly playing the part of the problem child while my sister, Amanda, could do no wrong. But what happens when the problem child suddenly isn't a problem anymore, and the golden child can't stand it? Let me tell you, Thanksgiving that year was an absolute war zone. My name's Jack, and for 34 years, I genuinely thought the golden child versus scapegoat dynamic was just a meme. Turns out, it was my reality. Every Thanksgiving at my parents' house was like gearing up for battle. I'd sit in the car outside, take a deep breath, and mentally rehearse my smile and nod routine. The house itself was always the same: polished oak floors, mom's special holiday tablecloth, that cloyingly sweet smell of cinnamon candles and stuffing. But the atmosphere? That was always heavy, like stepping into a courtroom where I was already guilty. Amanda, 2 years younger, had been the star of every show since birth. Perfect grades, perfect hair, perfect fiancé. You get the picture. If she sneezed, the whole family asked if she needed soup. If I got promoted, they'd ask if I was finally planning to settle down and stop being so distant. It started subtly when we were kids: more toys for her, louder claps for her dance recitals than my soccer goals. But the gap widened as we grew. By college, her tuition was fully paid. When I asked for help, I was told to take out loans. It would build character. This year's Thanksgiving, though, felt different. Not because of the food or the people, but because I wasn't coming in as the broke, struggling version of myself they remembered. I'd spent the last decade working my tail off, quietly building a tech company with 2 college friends. We'd recently sold it. After taxes, my share was just over $12 million. I hadn't told anyone. Not my friends, not my extended family, and definitely not my parents. It wasn't about flaunting it, it was about peace. I just wanted to enjoy dinner without the usual backhanded comments about how I never visited or still rented an apartment. Of course, the universe had other plans. The night started predictably enough. Amanda greeted me at the door with a perfectly rehearsed hug, just long enough for a photo, but not long enough to be genuine. "Jack, you made it," she chirped, as if my presence was a delightful surprise. Her fiancé, Matt, gave me one of those firm handshakes designed to establish dominance. You know the type. Dinner conversation quickly became the Amanda show. She'd just landed a new job at some marketing firm, and my parents spent the first 30 minutes grilling her about every detail: salary, office perks, coffee machine. I sat there, meticulously cutting my turkey into pieces so small a toddler could choke on them, forcing a smile like it was all utterly fascinating. Then, the first job landed. "So, Jack," my mom said, her eyes flicking to me across the table. "Still renting that little apartment downtown?" "Yeah," I replied, keeping my tone neutral. Amanda smirked. "You know, if you actually save some money, you could probably afford a real house by now. Matt and I are already looking to buy, right, babe?" Matt, clearly pleased to be included, grinned. "Yeah, we've been talking with realtors, probably looking at something around the $700,000 range." My dad just chuckled, shaking his head. Jack's always been a don. T missed the end. Watch the full story, link is attached below.